we will be learning about inverse trigonometric functions and solving right triangle. First question says find the inverse of the following problems. This is a continuation from yesterday's concept. Find the measure of angle A associated with the following ratio. So what I will do in this question over here is, I will take the inverse of sine on both the sides. By taking this, I will be left over with A is equal to what? Sine inverse of 0.8336. So after this, I will pull out my scientific calculator, and second, this is a shift button we will be using because we are using the functions which are on the sine, cosine, and tangent buttons over here. So sine inverse, and it says what? 0.8336, and I will close my parentheses, and this is my answer over here, 56.47 degrees. So I'll write over here 56.47. So my answer for angle A is what? Angle A is 56.47 degrees. Remember, we are finding the angles, so we will need the symbol degrees in all of our solutions. Okay, next question, it says tangent of A is 1.3527. I will take the inverse on both the sides again in this case over here. So it will be A is equal to tangent inverse 1.3527. So I will use my calculator to find my answer for this problem over here. So this is my calculator over here. Again, a recap. You will press the shift button to access the features for sine inverse, cosine inverse, and tangent inverse. It says tangent inverse of what? 1.3527. So I will close this parenthesis over here. What is my answer? 53.52 degrees. So I will write my answer 53.52 degrees. Next question over here says cosine of A is 0.2785. So I will take the inverse on both the sides. Remember, people, we were using two methods. So I will take the inverse on both the sides of cosine. This is your cosine inverse. Cosine of A is equal to cosine inverse and 0.2785. So cosine and cosine inverse, since they are reciprocal or inverses, they will be cancelled out. I will be left with the value of A is cosine inverse 0.2785. Now I will use my scientific calculator to find the answer. So when I use my scientific calculator, so you will press the button shift and you will press the button cos, which will give you cosine inverse 0.2785. So what is our answer? Our answer is 73.82 degrees. So I'll write my answer 73.82. So angle A is what? 73.82 degrees. This will be your assignment sheet for today. So what I will be doing is I will do number 4 for you. Now if you see number 4 says cosecant of A is equal to 1.556. Now please do keep in mind, on the scientific calculator there is no button which says cosecant. It just says sine, cosine, and tangent. So we have to make this problem in the form of sine, cosine, or tangent, and then we can use our scientific calculator for this. As you all have learned in the previous chapter, cosine and sine are what? They are reciprocal. Sorry, cosecant and sine are what? They are reciprocal. So cosecant of A is what? 1 over sine of A. So in this case, what I will do is I will rewrite this like this: 1 over sine of A is equal to what? 1.556. Now I will make it a proportion over here. Okay, so what I can do is I will cross multiply over here. So what will happen? It will look like this to you. 1 times 1 is 1, or okay, I will take the shortcut for you. I will, let me teach you by a different way over here. We will not use this approach. Let's cancel this. Alright, so whenever you see cosecant A is 1.556, as you all know, this cosecant A is 1 over sine A, and it also means that sine A is what? Sine A is the reciprocal of cosecant A, or cosecant A is the reciprocal of sine. So I can rewrite it like this: sine of A is equal to 1 over 1.556. You can just always write it like this. So for example, if I'm doing number 5, what I will do is I will change it to like this: cosine of A, because I know cosine and secant are reciprocal. I can write it like this. Okay, and I can type this in a calculator. It will give me the answer. Now, to find the value of A, it will look like this to you: sine inverse 1 over, let me draw my parentheses over here, 1.556. So in my calculator this time I will type in a fraction. So this is my calculator over here. You will use the sign shift, sign inverse. You'll press the fraction button, 1 and divided by 1.556, and I will close my parentheses, and my answer is what? 39.99 degrees. I can also write as 40 degrees also. Okay, so I'll write A is equal to what, people? A is equal to 40 degrees for this problem. This is how you will be solving question number 4, which are the, in the form of remaining 3 trigonometric ratios. This you will be solving by this method. Okay, so let's look at this problem which I started doing for you. Secant A is equal to 2.063. Since you all know secant and cosine are reciprocal, I have written this in the form of reciprocal form. So next step mine will be what? A inverse. I will be taking the inverse of cosine. So it will look like this to you: A is equal to cosine inverse 1 over 2.063. So I can type this in the calculator and I will get the answer over here. A is equal to whatever is my answer. So let's pull up our calculator. So this is shift cosine inverse 1 divided by 2.063, and I will close my parentheses over here, and which gave my answer as 61 degrees. So I'll write my value of A as what? I'll write my value as A, 61 degrees. So this is my answer over here for this question. I intended to do only one problem, but since second one came, so I did one more question for you. Okay, let me do number 13 also for you. A 70-foot building. So in this case, when we are talking about building, a building looks like this, and they have given a 70 foot. A 70-foot building cast an 100-foot shadow. So when you are talking about the shadow will come like this. So this is what? This is your 100 foot. What is the angle? Now, do you see the word angle over here? Yes. Whenever you see the word angle, this means they are asking you to use inverse trigonometric functions. What is the angle that the sun hits the building? So we are looking for this angle over here. Let me label this as angle theta. So this will be my A, this is my B, this is my C, and this is my 90 degree over here. Okay, what we will do, step number 1, we will label the triangle. So looking at this, so first of all, let's label the hypotenuse. As you all know, this is your hypotenuse. So when I'm looking at this angle over here, and this side will be my adjacent side, and this side will be my what? Opposite side. So circle my opposite side and circle my adjacent, because they have not given us hypotenuse, so we will not even worry about it. Now this is my mnemonic. So ka hua. Now look at the two circles and tell me which ratio we will use. This says opposite, this says adjacent. Opposite, hypotenuse, no, we cannot use this. Adjacent, hypotenuse, no. Okay, now this is opposite, adjacent. Why I am using this ratio? Because I am looking at these two circles which are giving me this trigonometric ratio. So I will write over here opposite over adjacent is equal to what? 70 over 100, these are the values of opposite side and adjacent, equal to what? Tangent of theta. They have not given us this theta. So it looks like this to you. 70 over 100 is equal to tangent of theta. Now, how you will find the value of theta? You will use inverse trigonometric relationship of functions. So it will look like this to you. Theta is equal to tangent inverse 70 over 100. Now how we will get our final answer? You will type tangent inverse 70 over 100 in the calculator. So I will use the shift button, tangent inverse. Always use the fraction button. 70 over 100. So click, and this is the answer. 34.99 degrees, or I will write 35 degrees. So this is my answer for which question? Number 13, which is over here. Okay, so now you are in a good position to do the problems which are on this worksheet.